Sorry for the abrupt ending. Let's get another little tune in there. We'll play it and we'll jump right into things. This is a show where it's a couple of talking points, random thoughts, shoot from the hip. There's no bulleted points in front of me. You know, I have my chat room in front of me, and sometimes I look at it. Sometimes I kind of go off and I won't. But here, let's just get into something different. Get a little testosterone going, right? If it would obey. Let's see. Okay. All right, music. Let's go. Don't do me like that. Okay, it's doing me like that. So we're gonna stop it. I'm gonna knock this out. We'll hit our tune again. We'll hit something else. Let me see. Boom. I'm not coming with this fiery rant tonight. I'm feeling too good. It's hot as heck. And no, I'm not investing in any AC in this apartment. In my house, I will. So the fans will have to do so. You'll see me wiping my face. But what do you expect? I'm in Africa, the motherland. This is what we want. This is the heat that you want, that you crave, that's tailor-made for your melanated skin. Yes, it is. Thank you, Empress Elegy. Yes. I'm zoned right now. Simply Deep 1985. Yes, I did that previous video naked. I'm a nudist. I do things like that. I almost made the mistake and I almost stood up. We don't want that. Let me get this scrolly from the bottom so we can see the title properly for those who came on. And this is an overall kind of broad title. It was just laid on my heart, you know, to speak on this thing, because really I speak on this all the time. And I just kind of create different titles. Now, in the event that the power here blinks out, this is going to blink out, but I'm coming back. I'll be back through the phone to finish the dialogue. But we're not even thinking about that right now. That happens often. It might blink off for 3 seconds and knock everything out. It's not like it's going to blink out and be out for like 3 days. It doesn't happen that way. And I'll be getting the necessary batteries to keep things going. But this computer's not hooked up to it. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. We come back into the chat room. Actually, here, let me go to YouTube right here on my phone. See, I got this really cool. I want to show it to you too. This really cool. It's muted too. I got this really cool phone stand. See, look at that. So cool. And I can see everything right here. And this actually folds up. I don't really want to do it, but this part folds up. This part folds down into it. Beautiful thing. And I keep it in my bag too. Like if I'm going to go to a restaurant or somewhere out and I want to have my phone propped up, you kind of put it this way too, sideways. It's just the nicest thing, you know, so I keep it down in front of me. So if you see me looking down, it's not like I'm falling asleep. It's just that I'm looking at it. This thing is really handy. I want to have one. I want to have like a few of them. It brings out the kid in me. Gadget man, right? Yeah, it is very nice. Let me take it off so you can see it. I get no kickbacks from this. This is from a brand named Promate. Let me see if I can pull it up closer. Just think of the pink parasite and primate, but it's Promate. So I get no kickbacks from this, y'all. Look at this. It's flat. Opens up. I have a tablet. I got a tablet here, but it's on the stand, but I have a, okay, yeah, look, okay, check this out. This thing could even hold up a tablet. Right? Look at this. Look at that. Oh my God, look at the fingerprints. Fingerprints, putting in the work. Put it that way, put it this way. I got a bigger tablet over here hanging above me, but you get the picture, right? So this is perfect. I saw it and was just love at first sight, right? No, I don't shame too easily. I have people here on the show that they kind of lurking. And on a dare, I won't even bring it to that kind of energy, right? But if you dare me money and it's nothing illegal to do, it's just something that you depend on my shame, you're going to lose money. I have no shame. I only have shame for my loved ones. But we'll save that for a comedy night. You know, exactly. No shame. We're all naked under our clothes. You know, imagine that. Wow. But anyway, I want to first, and I forgot his name. Please, my brother, come in and type the name in. Before we even get into this, I want to speak about those who are. I have very close friends of mine who are police officers, right? And I understand the reasons why they got into it, right? and this is very minute. This is not everybody, but I have some close friends of mine who truly got into being a cop because they wanted to make a difference in people's lives on a grassroots level. Because years ago, and this is not what this particular program is about, but I'm bringing this out for a reason. Just hear me out, because I know there'll be some naysayers in the comment sections. What are you, bringing up cops now? What are you? No. Let's just listen to this, right? Because, I mean, me, myself, I was a corrections officer. It was a job. I made money, right? It was a job. I made money. I did nothing wrong in there doing things or hurting anybody. We had a lot of fun. I shared a lot of information. I learned a lot, and I had a uniform, but I was not one of those power hungry, I can't control my wife at home, so I need to control somebody else on a spiritual, mental, and physical level because I'm insecure and I'm watching the inmates in the bathroom and God granted them more than me, hanging down to the knee, and I'm mad at them. Or one of these guys look like the dude who took my woman. I didn't go in there with that. No, not at all. Life experience. I let them know straight up, this is a job. There's no ego here. You do what you're supposed to do is according to the rules. I do what I'm supposed to do. Let's respect each other as men and black men, and we're going to have some fun. Never had a problem because they understood. I let them know I can be in a jumpsuit just as fast as you. And then when I worked driving the bus through some of the same neighborhoods where a lot of these brothers were locked up, never caught a black eye, never got spit on, never had my bus bricked up or shot up, because certain ones were shot up, you know. And beautiful experience in Orlando when I lived there, Central Florida, to the different neighborhoods in Orlando, you know. Yeah, Kachi 1972, this wonderful thing. Just, you know, foldable phone stand. Go to Amazon, you'll see a gazillion of these, some even better. But this one here, ain't nothing beat this one. This is my first love, right? So I say all that to say this, that when we speak about those police officers in Texas, right? And again, I have many friends who have shared many things with me and insights over the years, not just now. But when you take that job, knowing what the risk is, knowing what can happen. If you can't take that part of it, do not take that job at all. And now, there's an old officer who used to work. Now, what part? It was Broadway Junction on the A train, the J train, and the double L, where they all intersect. The A train was downstairs, the J train was upstairs, and the double L was upstairs, and 3 trains on both sides running through that one station. There was an officer there named Officer Figueroa. I'm gonna big him up. I don't know if he's still here with us, right? Because that was 40 years ago, a little more, a little less. 40 years ago, and I'd say at that time, I'd be nice to say that he was 50, because I think he was a little older, because you know black don't crack, right? Black don't crack. Hit the merchandise tab in the description there. We have a Black Don't Crack t-shirt. Any size you want, any color you want. Got to get more of those out. And I will be making more t-shirts, y'all. But he was a beat cop, meaning that was his beat right there. Was his transit police officer. You have the transit, you have the civilian, you have the housing. But he was a transit officer. And in that busy intersection in Brooklyn, there was all types of things happening. But never did I ever see him disrespected. Now, he used to come to the gym with us, and he wouldn't go all the time, but he was always there. And it was Zen's Gym in Ridgewood, Queens. Remember that, because that's part of my history. And I will have a lot of guys talking about things we went through there. They'll be talking about me, telling you stories of things that you didn't even know about me, and some of the good times. But Officer Figueroa, he had a Hispanic last name, but he was a tried and true black man, right? And he would come to the gym, and he wasn't a bodybuilder or anything, but he just liked to keep himself from going past a certain point, because he was an older man at that point. And beautiful man, great stories, anecdotes. We learned a lot, and I respected him more than anything else. It wasn't like I was googly-eyed over any cop, meaning, you know, I wasn't caught up in that kind of what they say is power, but they don't back you up when it's time to go down and do something. But he had us do certain seminars in different churches because he was a church guy. I think he was a pastor also, but he was hip. He was hip. You know, I remember one of the things, we were all in the, we were standing there. We would stand there 2 and 3 hours, a bunch of us who were going different ways. You had me who was going off of the double L to the A train to go to Lefferts Boulevard. You had some guys who were getting ready to go to the A train deeper in Brooklyn, double L deeper in Brooklyn and Brownsville, the J train, different parts of Brooklyn, right? But we would kind of congregate there, especially if it was like our last workout for the week and we saw him there, we would hang out all night. And he's a pastor and he knew life. But I remember one time, and this is a joke that went through like beyond me, like people are saying this joke and don't even know the origination of it because I was there, right? So he was speaking some righteous stuff, not preaching to us, but we were getting down on some good talk. And he was like, man, how do you talk like that? You're only like 18, 19 years old. I said, listen, man, I observed this is one of my abilities, right? So we were afraid. There was a young lady who was coming down the escalator. Oh my God. That's all I'll say. She had a shape of all shapes that would blow away most on Instagram right now. And she was real. And so we were looking at each other and trying to tap it and not get Officer Figueroa's attention because, you know, he's a pastor and everything. And so we were all sitting here, our Adam's apples jumping and stuff. You know, I'm going to start out with a little bit of humor. And as she walked by, he looked at us and said, I knew exactly what you're choked up about. I'm going to say it. Ooh, look at the hiney on her. And it broke the ice. I'm like, he's a pastor. But he was mad cool. He was never disrespectful. He just knew exactly how to add the right touches in a conversation to endear those who were around them. And you can be of a different background. One older, one younger, one this race, one that race. But he would always be able to find the common thread to bring everybody together, right? And that's something I always appreciated about him. And that's a skill. I'm not going to say that I envy because I had a baby junior version of that skill. But it was real because that's how I communicate, right? But it was some really good times that we had together. And he spoke about the job. We'd ask him things about the job. And he had some rough times on the job when he was younger coming up. But the streets respected him, right? Now I'm going to bring this around to the Texas shootings in which those police officers that were there were too scared to go in. They were too afraid to go in and save those children who were hopeless or hopeful that they would come in, but hopeless because of the actions or inaction of those police officers who were scared for their life. But didn't you sign up for this? Isn't this part of the job? Didn't you sign up for this? So what are you doing scared for your life? You got some 18-year-old in there shooting up the school with children, man. You're supposed to put yourself, listen, you probably would have punked out if your own children were in there. Really and truly. Because as a police officer, technically, we know what many police have done to tarnish, and we know that they're the slave catchers. We understand that. We understand that. But aside from that, human to human, if I was in that position in our community, it would be one big hangout. But I'd get the job done. I'd be a beat cop. We'd be all right. We wouldn't have to get other cops in on our business. And I would be a solution seeker, a problem solver, one who alleviates stress in the community on site. One who could be trusted to be the glue that holds together the integrity and the safety of that community. You're already a hero if you do that, like Brother Figueroa. He didn't want us to call him officer. Just call me Brother Figueroa. And that's a man I can close my eyes. I don't have a picture of him, but I can see his face. I can hear his voice. A lot of us can do that with our loved ones, but I got surround sound, you know, THX, you know, subwoofer stuff going on in my head. Digital, I remember stuff. I can recall it. The stuff that wasn't important to me, I don't remember that. But when it's something important, I never forget it. So big ups to Officer Figueroa, who worked Broadway Junction in Brooklyn, New York. Don't know how many years, but he's been there for so many years. Maybe somebody will hear this 10 years from now and say, hey, that was my great-great-grandfather. So be it. Let's give props to the good people. Now, these cops were straight punks. I don't think any of them were black. Let's even take that away from it. If you were black and you did that, you were punk. You were a police officer trained. You have the legal right to shoot. But I bet you those white police officers who, white and other, I'll say it that way, who were afraid to go in to save those children who didn't have a chance more than an ice ball in hell. How you gonna let them die like that? Now, I'm not saying that, oh, just let one or two die and then go. No, you're trying to save all of them. All of them. But this is how some people in life, let's swing this around. Because I'm going to swing it around to the title. You best believe, because we freestyling this one, right? I'm doing a mix. Free. That's when you know it's like going on midnight. It's time. Oh, I want to tell you all, I didn't sleep one wink last night. So I don't know where the energy is coming from. We're going to ride this out, but it's not going to be long. But I have not slept in two days. Can't even, once you get past a certain point, you're like, you don't know what's going on. Guys said good morning to me this morning. He said, good morning. Everything starts coming out funny. But anyway, how could you let that happen? I'm not saying I'm somebody's superhero. I'm not saying that I would not have felt adrenaline. I'm not going to say that I would not have felt fear. But there's just something inside of me that I know when something goes down, I couldn't let that happen. Now, if I didn't have a weapon, I'm running. No, I got to listen. I'll snatch the weapon up the cop's hand and go in there. Because I couldn't think of myself as somebody who's punkified. And I'm not even a police officer. But it's your duty as a man to protect those children. You don't have to be a cop for that. If you were a cop and said, listen, man, give me your damn weapon. Let me go in there and do the job. But look at it now. I'm a black man, so if I grabbed the gun, they'd probably shoot me. They'd have balls to shoot me because they'll be in fear for their life. The attack on black manhood is real. I told you I was going to swing it around, but I'm going to continue with this story. I keep forgetting, what is it? It starts with a U or an O, Uvalde, some part of Texas, right? Well, we know what we're talking about. This last one that happened with the little kids, single-digit ages getting blown away. I hope they never get a good night's sleep. I hope they can never face themselves, because I know I would not be able to. I would know that day that I would just have to resign being a police officer because I let them kids get killed. Let me go in there and risk my one life to save all those other lives. We're all going to die or transition or move on and go on to the next level. Let me go with honor. The problem is in this lifetime, many of us don't believe in honor. And when they see honor coming, you have whole governments and whole systems who are there to snuff it down. You think not? Look at the men behind me. No matter where they started in life, they were moving up. No matter what their area of expertise, which made the world to know who they are, they were going beyond that. And they were all snuffed out in different ways. Some with insinuations and smear campaigns, like with Marcus Garvey, and the eventual not having anything and dying in squalor. Malcolm X brutally with a bullet. Tupac brutally with a bullet. Bob Marley with that mysterious thing with the toe and the cancer and all this stuff, and the man who admitted that he had something to do with it. Muhammad Ali, they say he took too many blows to the head, but right after, what would Muhammad Ali have been to the world if he can continue to talk? See, they always get you with the thing that you're best for or good with, like a stroke. If you can sing real good, you can't sing good after the stroke. If you can talk real good, if you can balance yourself real good, whatever it is, mental or physical, but the spirit is still strong, but those limitations will kill your spirit. They don't want real black manhood to manifest to its fullest. If Tupac was talking the way he did all those years ago, 30 years ago, right? What would he be now? Do you think he would just still be acting up a certain way? He was moving towards something. And when you have influence in the world beyond the control of those who helped to get you there, not because they helped you because they liked you, they helped you because they wanted to use you, and they helped you because they wanted to control you, like the music industry. And if you're not in the music industry, whatever industry you're in, it could be boxing, music. They couldn't control Malcolm, so they just had to straight get him. They didn't like Marcus Garvey. And there are a lot of people who are around today who don't believe or feel that his philosophy is right. We have too much infighting amongst us. And before I move on, I want to say one thing, and I mean this after almost 60 years on this earth. You know, I like the countdown thing, right? That keeps me feeling young. 11 months shy of 60 years old. That way, when it comes, I've been talking about you all year. Pay me no mind. But there's one thing I want to say, and it hurts me to say it. But at this point in the war on us, we're not all going to make it, y'all. You're going to have to separate from some of these punkified people who are punks, like those cops who are afraid to go in to save those young children's lives. Let's look at it this way. What if one of those children were going to grow up and soon have the cure for cancer, AIDS, heart disease, diabetes? How many of our loved ones, especially in the Black community, have died because of this? Even with the space age, high technology, medicine, this and this, we know that stuff is toxic anyway. But if something's going on, we got to do what we got to do to keep alive. But death or transition is certain. We're all not going to make it. We're all not going to be unified. Some of us are going to be unified right up into the point of reaching the mountaintop and throw us under the bus. Every brother ain't a brother. And that means sisters too. That's all I know is brothers and sisters. I mean, you know, Chuck D didn't say, every tranny ain't a tranny. He didn't say that. He said every brother ain't a brother. And that means the sisters too. But we're not going to make it. All of us are not going to make it. There's going to be not even what you can count on one hand in your inner circles. Your inner circle is going to be so small, it won't even be an inner circle. It might be an inner C. It might be an inner I, right? Nothing to bend around that you can have it wrapped around you. Gone are the days of integrity, especially in our community, and a little bit that we had, which the world may not have had as much back then, but I know it had a little more. We had the brother Figueroas of the world who never feared a day on his job because he had the integrity to reach out for people or to people. I have personal friends that I can say their names, but I will not say it to protect their family and anonymity out of respect. But I know them from the inside out. And they got on that police force because they didn't want to get on there to harass people, their family people. They were raised by good people, good families, good communities. See, we don't talk about our own communities like that or our former communities like that. You go into Bath Beach, Dyker Heights, you speak about the Italians, and they had that sense of community, even though you had mobsters there, even though you had jerk-offs there. Hey, jerk-off, what's going on? Gumba. But with us, a lot of us don't talk well about our good experiences until the day, let's say it the Christian way, until the day the Lord calls me, I'm going to always speak good about the pleasant memories growing up and pay homage to those real men and women who were the backbone of the families and the communities and raised real black men who took care of their families, who had the integrity to resist any wrongdoing, even when they were pissed off beyond belief, where you felt safe when you saw them. Real black manhood. You see, we're so brainwashed, and maybe not us. Yeah, maybe a lot of us are too. We've been so brainwashed by the media to feel that black manhood means the thug thing. Means that to keep it real, you got to have profanity in and out of your mouth all day long. To be a real black man, you better knock up as many black women as you can and run away and leave them. Oh, man, you know, I tore that thing up last night, man. I'm so proud. I got 17 kids. But are you taking care of them? Do you have enough wisdom to impart into them and the time to do so, to not just tell them what's right, but to show them what's right? The brothers that I know as police officers and some sisters that would never do anything on the force bad. They would never tolerate that. I have to tell the truth because I know they were raised by proper families where they were disciplined if they stepped out of line from young, but it wasn't really where they had to be disciplined because they learned from what they saw. See, there's a faction of people out there. We can call it the powers that be. We can call it the Illuminati. We can call it the shadow government. We can call it the unhuman beings that don't like our proximity to nature and the creator and know more about us than we know about ourselves. Whatever you want to call it, we're at war with them. And too many of us are out here shucking and jiving, wasting our time, being so hedonistic. Oh, of course. I'll be honest with you. You got to get laid, y'all. I know that. I'm not trying to bring it down to a lower level, but, you know, we're passionate people. And it shouldn't just be that. It should be much more than that. I'm going to throw a little curves, wake you up. What did he say? Did he really say that? You could be on this couch sleeping. Yo, what that SCURV says about getting laid? See, y'all will listen to that. Not all of you who are here religiously, right? But sometimes you have to throw things in there to wake people up, you know, and catch them. So I speak many languages. I speak many frequencies. I speak many. When I say many languages, I speak this English language, the verbal straitjacket for a black man, because it doesn't allow you to really open up and put emphasis in certain words. If you're anal retentive and you're speaking like this, and yes, this LanceScurv show, he makes some really logical points, but I really don't understand when he starts going off and starts speaking about the creator and the oppressor. And, you know, I work a 9-to-5 too, damn it. And I want a raise and I haven't gotten a raise. And so I have an oppressor too. So, you know, more power to you, black man. I listened to, what's the guy's name? Minister Farrakhan. Farrakhan. Yes, he's a cool brother too. They always try to do something to try to blend in with us. Come on. They try to learn to dance and want to start pop dance. Come on. That is not black culture and black manhood. And when I speak about black manhood, our sisters are attacked in different ways, but they're under attack also. And we're on the same team. So when I say black manhood, it should concern you. If I hear black sisterhood, it should, a womanhood, it concerns me. Because guess what? Even though the world doesn't want us together, we're supposed to be like this. Because if we do like this and take one away, where does this go? You ain't going to get it, sister, running to the white man. You can't go and say that I dealt with 3 black men and they all treated me bad. So I'm running to the white man because I know it's going to be better. You might meet one white man who might treat you halfway all right, but you might realize that, you know, he had a little fetish that he had to get off. And it wasn't real. Who knows? We have to work hard because we're the only people who can understand each other. Nobody else will understand us like us. And there's a big crusade on social media right now where they have turned black woman against black man and black man against black woman. And you have these different groups on the relationship level, on a dating level, on a marriage level, that they treat each other like demons, like we're just one group of people who've done all the bad and all the wrong. And this is how social media, especially YouTube, that bans me really hard. I'm stuck at the same amount of subscribers for the last 2 years. I don't believe that. Because my stuff been shooting up. I don't even care about that. This is not my platform. LanceScurv.com is, though. You can go there. You can see the show there now with the chat room there right now. And long after the show is over, you can stay there 24/7 and talk. I have it all set up. These shows, I said I was going to start doing a little 15, 20 minutes and making everybody go over there. I'm going to start doing that soon, too. But I have my stuff backed up there. YouTube can't touch me. I'm using them to get to you. I'm saying it outright. They don't like it, so what? I've been banned enough from them anyway. Think I'm making $1 million with this channel? No. Maybe if I get a pink wig and put some lipstick on and, you know what I mean? It's about I'm coming out. Coming out. What you talk about? I'm coming out. What are you, constipated? What are you, a piece of dung who's been stuck in somebody's stomach for the last 3 Thanksgivings? And now you glad to come out and splash somebody's anus? Come on. We're all not going to make it, y'all. Look around the room and look at some of the people who will be your traitors. I'm not being negative, but I have no time for foolishness because I've taken a lot of dents and dings and scratches in my dealings with some of us niggers out here, because I deal with black people. But there are a lot of niggas out here who cloak themselves with the words of black people. They cloak themselves with the words of unity. They cloak themselves with the imagery of righteousness, and we're looking for it like a light or a flare, or we're on a boat out to sea somewhere out in the dark, and we see this light, and we're like, oh, we might get saved. We have one flare. We got to let them see. And they see it. But all that glitters is not gold. Got to understand that. Look at those behind me. Look at how many of those behind me have been betrayed on one level or another. Betrayed because they were ascending and going higher and higher and higher. And there's something inside of some of us that we can't see that happen. It's that deeply saturated sense of self-hate, that we hate ourselves so much that we hate the others that look like us, and we do the oppressor's job for them. And a lot of us don't even know we have that thing in us. That's the sad part. It's something that when we see progress coming, it's something that activates. And when you are someone who is at the helm of that, that's something that you're going to have to watch out for. You're going to have to do like Muhammad Ali when he had George Foreman, he was fighting him. He did the rope-a-dope. You go into your shell. You distance yourself. You watch, you test, you make sure, because guess what? The minute you drop your guard, here comes a blow. And it's not going to come always from the person who doesn't look like you. Isn't that something? But we should know that already. Why don't we know this already? What year is this? Am I Rip Van Winkle? This is 2022, y'all. What in the hell is wrong with us? Why can't we get our act together? You better start throwing off some of that dead weight off your plane if you want to make landfall, because you don't have enough fuel to get there. You know how that works. I always talk about that. You got a cargo plane loaded with cargo, and the engine is straining. And all of that cargo is making you burn more fuel. You're up in the air. You can't get no more fuel. Land is X amount of miles away. You have enough fuel to get you 20 miles ahead, but land is 32 miles away. What are you going to do? You better start realizing what's worth it to keep and what you need to get off. If you want to hold on to it, you're going to go down with it. If you want to hold on to some of these fake entities around you, you're going to go down with it. Your love for these people who don't love you is going to be the very thing that pulls you down. It may hurt. Some of your best inside jokes and best times that you had are going to be with some of those people that you have to throw out of your life forevermore. Nostalgia is nothing that's going to keep you alive. You can sit here and have the most wonderful memories on somebody who stabs you in your back. I have a lot of wonderful memories of things I still laugh at, of people who have tried to stab me in my back. And I'm enjoying the memories, but they're gone. And they're a memory. And there's some who I've lost contact with that I want to reach out to. There are many. So please, if you're watching this and you say, oh, Lance hasn't talked to me in a long time, it's nothing that you did. It's just that there's a lot of things that I have to explain to you, because even yapping on the YouTube channel can get you into places where people are watching you that you couldn't believe. You're saying to yourself, I ain't that important. How come them people are following me? How come them people are sending people to me? So you know what I do? I cut it all out. I'm here in Africa. And you know how I talk. We got the nigger federations out here, right? Everybody want to welcome everybody and all this. No, ain't nobody doing nothing. And half of them are informants to bring information. You could be harmless, but the powers that be want to know, what is he doing out there? Did you hear him say anything radical? Is he looking to do something over there on a terroristic level or whatever? Surely we know he's smart. Why is he out there? And you're going to have to get rid of someone who used to be in your inner circle, because they're informants too, as righteous as they look. Ooh, I could tell you a whole lot. And one day I'm going to write a book and it's going to be so juicy. It's going to be so juicy. You're going to be sucking that book like a mango. You'll be, your page 52 flowing down my neck. I didn't know he went through that. That's how it really went down. But you have to hold things sometime. It is not always where you're supposed to bring things out and cause all this drama, because it takes away from your momentum. Momentum. When you have attained a certain level of speed, that if you take your foot off the pedal on that bike, you're still going to go forward. You can't keep stopping and talking to everybody and expect to get momentum, because sometimes you're not able to pedal that bike, right? Come on now, really think back. I know some of our young ladies or sisters have gone through this. I know some of the men, just being boys, right? You pedal on your bike and you're pedaling fast, and you see dogs up ahead of you. You don't have the time or ability to stop and turn around and get up the speed to get away from them if you stop and turn the other way, because they're eventually going to catch up to you, because you have to stop and come from a dead halt. You know what I used to do? I'm riding the bike. I see the dogs. I start pedaling faster so that when I get near the dogs, my legs are not down pedaling the bike where they can jump and bite me. You know what I do? I'd pedal the bike so fast, and here they come. I had so much speed going that I take my feet off the pedal and put them up high and hold on. So they're jumping up, but they couldn't get my legs. And when some of them began to get to give up, because there's always that one who follows you more. So you start zigzagging and pedaling again, and you get out of the way. Momentum. The ability to get this speed going up that you will use later on. It's like savings or investments that when you broke or have nothing coming in, you're like, ooh, I'm glad I got that saved up. It may not even be money. Me, I'm weird, right? I stack up bottled water. I've got 5 rows, 5 levels of water stacked up. I had it up to 8. I feel like I'm low. This week, I'm going to probably stack it up to 10. I got to hang up with water. You know what I mean? I don't want to be dependent on nobody for water. What's wrong with you, man? Why you, maybe something's wrong with me, right? I'm like those old folks who went through the Depression. They might be millionaires now, and they're sitting here with coupons in the supermarket. What you talking about? You got 18 million in the bank. You still clipping coupons. That's why they got 18 million in the bank. But back to the original thing, we're all not going to make it. To go back even more so, like we say, the facade. And that's why I brought up the whole thing about the police officers. But now we go to the Tops supermarket in Buffalo. See, nobody's talking about Buffalo, New York shooting anymore because they're talking about the one in Texas. And I understand that this little boys, little girls that got killed. I understand that. But when the media chooses to focus on something, right, you better try to decipher why they're doing what they're doing between the lines, because there are crimes going on all the time. There's shootings going on. Really think about this, right? I'm not picking on Chicago because they get picked on more than anybody else. But okay, they talk about how bad Chicago is and all these shootings. But it's in New York too. It's in Cleveland. It's in Atlanta. It's in Miami. It's in Orlando. It's in Houston. It's in Dallas. It's in San Diego, San Francisco, Hollywood too. Little things going on. Compton, California. Little hick towns, they got shootings going on. So if they were to report on shootings, that every shooting that came out, it would be the crime channel. You'd have to have 10 crime channels. You'd have to have a crime channel assigned to every city and not just major city. So what makes them pick and choose what they decide to report on even more so for political reasons and manipulations? And why do they hide certain things? Look at those cops in Texas who did not have the balls to go in there and save little children. They should be locked up. Forget about just taking away their job and firing them. You're trained, you took the check, you took the money, you take the responsibility, like a man who takes the sex or indulges in the sex, because taking sex is rape, but indulging in the sex with a woman. Some of us are foolish in our younger years, but you don't lay down with a woman that you can't be with forever. There's my autofocus working all funny. See, when I put my hand close, I got to bring it back slow and kind of bring it back to, it'll come back. Do I look fuzzy to you now? I almost scared myself. I look like some spook or something. Wake up and see something looking like that. Come on, camera. Let's start this thing over again. A very sensitive camera here. Then look and see every line in my hand. Let's pull it back slowly. Pull it back slowly. I'm still looking spooky. Okay, let's pull ourselves out. Pull ourselves back in. Is it looking funny? Space Ghost for real, right? It'll adjust itself eventually. It will. Do I have the auto? Yeah, I do, because it messed up. Oh, but you know what it is? It's a setting that I have to change. I think it's changed right now. Did it? I don't want to mess nothing up. Okay, that might do it. We'll leave it like that. It's really the words. Matter of fact, until this straightens up, I don't like looking weird like that. I might have bad dreams tonight. It's very blurry because it's very sensitive camera. If I cut it out and cut it on, will it? Let me see something here. Boop! I came back. Yeah. You know the purpose of that particular setting is if I hold something up and hold it close, it will focus on what's close. Because sometimes you put something up close to hold it up, some fine print. I see it's doing it again, but it's, yeah, see? It works. Yeah, okay, this is the setting it's supposed to be on. Like, say I got these cough drops here, right? You got this fine print. You can put it up close and get the fine print. See that? I can pull it away and it comes back. That's the setting I should have had it on. Okay, see that again? And that camera, I'll be honest and say it's about $700. But that particular feature alone is usually on cameras that are $3,000 to $3,500. I didn't want to pay that much. I'm not into photography like that. But because of those features and doing it on a live show, that's why everything on this is not a cam. It's maximum, right? You can go up to 4K, but YouTube doesn't broadcast in 4K. But I'm going to switch over. We'll do some technical things. So just to make things better. But like I was saying, let me get back into the flow before I turn into Space Ghost. Space Ghost. Every time I see my head, it's going to be like Space Ghost. Okay. Let me also tell you that they're showing me with comments, like some of your comments are blocked for some reason. There may have been some that got by, and I have to push the button to show it, but I'm not always focused on the chat room when I get into my flow. So one just was blocked by YouTube by Trap Soul Beats. Yeah. So if it doesn't go through, it's nothing that I'm doing. But if I look down or you say, there's no way of knowing. Anyway, you have these cops that are afraid to go in to save these young kids, right? But yet and still, they don't talk about Buffalo, New York, where there's a security guard who went at that shooter and was shooting at him. He was a retired police officer and a security guard, retired police officer, who could have said, well, I'm retired. I don't do it anymore. I'm not supposed to shoot at anybody. I'm just security. And I'm not sure if he got killed or he's alive, or I think he got killed. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. I got so much stuff coming to me, I can't really even focus on the stories. I need to focus on one at a time. But what I'm saying, the whole point, whether he's alive or dead, is that he stepped up as a man. And we don't have Black manhood celebrated when it's stuff like that we do now, do we? They always want to paint us a certain way. Let me tell you something. A lot of you all may not be into boxing, right? The racism in sports and the lack of the acknowledgement of Black manhood, and we have to talk about it this way. Well, Guy, I mean, come on, Guy. I mean, really, you don't hear us talking about white manhood. Look, y'all done raped and robbed and put yourself up in the movies as the hero riding off into the sunset. So we don't have to talk about that. You guys are the superheroes of the world in your mind. And you've convinced so many of us that you are, but you're not, because it's us. You copy us. You're envious of us. Your birth rate is going down. Ours is going up. Seriously. Over here in the motherland, like I told you before. I mean, I jumped out of a vehicle to go take a leak on the side of the highway between two trees. Came back 3 days later. The soil was so fertile. There was a tree between those two trees that looked like me. I was speaking to a young lady the other day. She was telling me, she says, oh, it's beautiful having children. She grew up way up in the country, way up in the Volta region. You ain't getting no McDonald's up there. You ain't getting no fried pork, chicken, fried, whatever up there. You drinking water, fresh fruit juice, fresh everything. No GMO, no trans fats. Or even with the fats, they got trans too? God, no, nothing. And she said, when she has her baby, the baby come right out. Hour and a half. She said one time she was having her baby and the baby's head was sticking an inch out of her vagina and she didn't even know it. If I can get her to come on and talk about it, she says, oh, I love having children. There's no problem having children because you're obeying the natural laws. But they don't like us to know that. All this artificial stuff going on. Formula. We should be breastfeeding, but they keep us from having access on our jobs to breastfeed. And they keep these hospitals where in our neighborhoods and our communities, we don't have access to the information and the resources to be able to do that. And these jobs don't give us, meaning our sisters, the time to do so. So we can't even breastfeed. And that natural connection between the mother and the son and daughter, either or. But this is proper that we grow up into the fullest vibration of ourself. And if we can't breastfeed, that's an attack on Black manhood and Black womanhood. So we're catching it from even before we come out the womb. And some of us don't even make it to get out of the womb because of the amount of abortions that are done. And there's no outrage over that. But we're not here as men enough to have the wisdom to sit down and talk to our young ones. They watching the Instagram and they watching YouTube and the YouTube shorts where half of them are black women shaking their asses. Oh, they have beautiful asses. But do you eat the dessert before the meal? Am I wrong for saying they have beautiful asses? Black women have some of the most beautiful backsides in the whole world. Oh, I'm wrong for saying that. I should say, oh, my brothers have some beautiful backsides. That's right as far as the world's concerned, because that's how they want to see us. Because if we're aiming our penis in somebody's anus, ain't no life going to come out of that. What's nature and natural is not acceptable. And we can't come out and be in this world in our natural, powerful form. It's unacceptable. You can turn your head this way. You can turn your head that way. You can change your name and say, I ain't black, I ain't African, I'm indigenous. You're melanated, you're copper colored. No matter where you are on the planet, we're one. That's all. Once we realize that, we'll be all right. No matter where we are on the planet. What's the difference between Muhammad Ali and Bob Marley? The slave ship dropped Bob Marley's folks off, or some of them, in Jamaica, and then up the road in, America, and Malcolm X, and Tupac, and Marcus Garvey. And look, I couldn't put everybody on the banner. I had to chop some of their faces small or chop it off just to have a slight representation, to have you think to have these faces behind me. Oh, there's going to be somebody in the comment section. Well, what about Martin Luther King? What about what's his name? Kwame Nkrumah. I want to have him on here too. But the pictures that I found, because I make these banners myself. A lot of times I don't have as much time. When I'm doing it, I'm doing my thing. I've been doing this for a long time. I go, whoop, 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 like make up a meal real quick. Wow. I like professionalism. I like to have everything just right. But what's the difference? And some of us who speak unity turn around and work against the very doctrine that we speak about. How about that? Well, what's up with that? That's why I say, be careful who you have around you, because most of us are not going to make it. Most of us are not going to make it. You better chop them people off who are so fraudulent and you don't back up off of it. Some of them will try to divide a house. They can't stand you, but they like your wife because they can manipulate her. See? All of that stuff underhanded, get rid of all of them. It's a time to be harsh right now because they have gained momentum and convinced the world that we're nothing, we're no good, when you know better. We are superhuman to them, but that's natural for us to be as we are. We don't have to apologize for our superior vibration. Call it for what it is. Oh, here's a white supremacist, a black supremacist. I know it. I'm talking facts. And you know it. That's why you come so hard against us. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to treat you a certain way, the way you treated us. Because you didn't like the fact that you can't do the things that we do. That's why you got us to do the things that you wanted us to do to build your empire. Just like in the song that I play. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man. Should I play it? Oh, let me see if I have it. If I still have it in the same spot. Turn it up. Oh, that's the other one. No. We'll rock out with this one. Why are we called Negro? It's right there in the same spot. So let's get around to how they misrepresent us in the media, which paints a picture to the world that doesn't know us in a certain light. Let me bring some light onto a boxing match, which many of you know I'm a frustrated boxer. I love boxing. If I can go back in time, I'd do a little weightlifting. I'd leave bodybuilding alone and I'd get into boxing. That's my thing. If I had to change one thing, I got a big head, so I mean, it's an easy way to hit me, right? But maybe I got a little thick skull. I know I can take a lot of blows, but you got to hit and don't get hit. Here it is. We have a fight coming up, and you can Google it. You can follow it. George Kambosos against Devin Haney. George Kambosos, brief history, not boring. I just want to show you how things work in the sport of boxing. George Kambosos last year beat a guy named Teofimo Lopez, who beat Lomachenko, they were touting this white man as being greater than Muhammad Ali, and I don't think he had but about 10 fights. Well, Teofimo Lopez beat him, and George Kambosos turned around and beat him. You have Devin Haney, who's head and shoulders above all of them. And all of the other fighters who are white and Latino, they did not want nothing to do with him because they know that he was so domineering. But he has one belt, Devin Haney, but they have multiple belts, which shouldn't be like that in boxing. It should be one champion per division. But now, since Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez, he has the majority of the belts. But Devin Haney has one. So Kambosos, who's from Australia and crooked, cannot claim to be undisputed in the lightweight division because there's one belt that he doesn't have. And he wanted no part of Devin Haney. He said when he won the belts, yes, I'm going to be just. I'm going to fight you. We're going to make this thing for the boxing fans. And he did everything to avoid Devin Haney. Now he's doing what I'm going to say, excuse my French, little bitch moves. It's obvious he doesn't want to fight Devin Haney, but they got the fight anyway for this weekend. But Devin Haney, in order to get that shot at the Kambosos lightweight championship belts, which would deem the winner, whoever wins, we know it's going to be Haney, is going to be the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. We have another black man at 154, Charlo, of the Charlo twins. What is it? Jamel, I think it is. I think Jamal is the one who's heavy in weight, and I think Jamel, just the other day, he's undisputed. We got Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford at welterweight coming around to undisputed. So that's a good thing, but why is it a problem? Because the boxing powers that be don't like black fighters dominating. The press, the white press, not the black press, some of them are coons. They don't write in a way, they dismiss the black fighters who are domineering all up and down. You got some divisions where we don't have some at the top, but the money-making, charismatic, pay-per-view giants are there. So now they made it hard for Devin Haney to. One of the stipulations that Kambosos said is that you have to come to Australia and fight me there. And we have to have a rematch clause. And in the rematch clause, if you beat me and you become champion, you still have to come to Australia. Okay, I think you all can still hear me. Okay, let me see. This thing cut out. Can you still? Okay, we're going out. I'm going to have to switch this up. Let me know if you can still hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me. I'll switch the banner and keep going because the camera just overheated. Okay, I'm going to come back to the chat room. Just let me know yes if you can hear me. No, I'm going to have to type it in also. Can you hear me? Give me a second. We'll continue on this way. Okay, great. What I'm going to do. Okay, thank you, Sunkiss and Oyala. Okay. I mean, come on. You all know what I look like. Let me just give this a break. This camera is off. I will cut it back on maybe another 10 minutes. But hey, that's the plan B. So now the government, the Australian government, made it where the father and trainer and promoter of Devin Haney can't come to be by his son's side because of a legal entanglement that he got in over 20 years ago that is rectified. It's no problem. He's a model citizen. You see, they're doing everything they can to rattle this young man from having him win the title. And it's across the board. Now, Kambosos is saying certain things. George Kambosos is saying things to Devin Haney, like, yeah, you're a snitch. You what kind of thug, what kind of gangster are you? Even in the promotion of the posters, they have Devin Haney with boxing gloves on and chains around his neck and around his wrists, insinuating that he's some kind of dope dealer when combined with the statements that they're using on him, where he's a young man, 22, I think, 22, 23, young man, been in it for a long time, middle-class household. I mean, wonderful father-son relationship. But they don't want to portray that in the media. And if you see the comments in the YouTube videos, the various blogs, man, there's so much racism in this world worldwide. It's not just in America. It's not just in the UK. It's all over the world. We forget these damaging images that go out to the world, damage us all over the planet. When you think about Eddie Murphy and Eddie Murphy Raw years ago, when he said that a person walked up to him and what they remember are the curses. I'm not going to say the actual F-U-C-K word. I'll say funk, like you're funky, right? Hey, Eddie. Hey, the funk you, man. The imagery that Hollywood and the entertainment, the videos put out there supersede our actual presence where opinions are formed in a very damaging manner. And it's not good for us. We don't control that. The attack on black manhood is real. The attack on black sisterhood is real. Because I'm going to do one specifically with that title that will still include black manhood. We're in this thing together. We're in this thing together. But some of us don't want to be known as that. We claim a nationality. I'm not black, I'm Puerto Rican. Well, don't you know how many black Africans were dropped in Puerto Rico? It's a port, it was mixed. You have many races, but everybody got a little black in them. Cuba too. We want to claim other things. I'm not black, I'm Hebrew. Well, what race is that? Then why don't you complain to the people who are Caucasoid, who are claiming to be Hebrew, but you want to come and tell me with a lineage through Africa that I'm not African? Why the African hate? You talk about Chinese or Asian hate. You got black folks that have hate on Africans. The whole planet is Africa. What you gonna do now? Take us. It's Africa. I'm not African. We'll go to where go to planet indigenous. I'm not knocking it. I got Blackfoot Indian blood in my body from my mother's side. I can claim that too and forget about the other 99.999% of what I am. But we're copper colored. We're melanated. They say, well, don't say the word black because legally it means this and it means that. Well, if we didn't say it, they're still gonna whip our asses anyway. They're still gonna kill us anyway, right? So what's the point? Why are we taking so much energy to run away from something where they don't give a damn what we are? They lump us all in one category anyway. It's not going to postpone the inevitable. Ooh, you know what I got to do, Empress LG? The P.O. box is no more. I'm going to centralize that over here in Ghana. So from now on, I forgot to tell you. And I forgot to tell myself, I've been putting it up too. Yeah. And for America, we're going to make different arrangements there to make it easier that a person doesn't have to send things all the way over here and pay all that money. We're going to make different arrangements. An actual location aside from a P.O. box. Much, much better. So anyway, we're attacked on so many different levels. And people say, well, you're not being attacked. You have it better than you ever had it before. And like Don King said years ago when he did that special that Spike Lee made on Mike Tyson before, what fight was that? Henry Tillman. The fight after he lost to Buster Douglas. Spike Lee did this really compelling, short bio documentary type thing. It was probably several minutes long. But Don King had said, and we know Don King, we know his game, we know what he's all about, but he does say some true things, but he's a little shapeshifter too. But what he said was true. that back at the turn of the century, you know, we got hit less than we do now, but nonetheless, we got hit. And after we get hit, we have to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, police officer, for putting my head in the way of your nightclub." You know what I mean? I put my way in the way of your nightclub 57 times. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That's we got this thing beat into us. It's become a part of our normal diet. We digest this thing. And when we don't get it, we expect it, and some of us want it. It's become a way of life to be defeated and black in America and all over the world. We feel funny when it's not around. You think I feel funny not seeing white folks out here? Out there in America, they're like Dawn of the Dead to me. They see me, they follow me, they want to take a bite out of me, they want to do something to me. It's always some attitude, always something. I ain't got to deal with that no more. Yeah, you got some over here who look like me who will do the same thing. But I know how to deal with them a lot better. Trust me. I can short circuit them better than anything else because I know myself. Let's see if this camera will come on again. So now I know how it gets down. Let's see. I'm seeing myself. Okay. I knocked it around a little bit. Let's make sure that everything is covered. All right. Because everybody thinks I have more than a t-shirt on. Now we know this is going to blank out after a while too. Let me see if this setting is just right. Let's mess around with it again. I don't want to turn into Space Ghost. Okay, that's even better. This is probably going to pop. It already got hot, so it's not that much cooler, so it's going to pop back another 5 minutes. But we know what to do, you know? Yeah, exactly, Kelly. I haven't looked at the chat room. I just running my mouth. Yeah, exactly. So it's not just on one level. Look at it on a financial level. Let's just play around with that thought. How many of us were really taught in school, elementary school, those of us who went to public school, right? How many of us are really taught about finances? They taught you everything else. They taught you science and these formulas. They taught you, of course, math is very important. You know, mathematics is very important. But I think that they were too lopsided in some of the things they taught us. You know, I mean, home economics they used to have, you have to know how to run a home. I think that's very important. But at home, we need to learn those things too, right? History, they lied to us. They straight up lied to us because it was their twisted version of events and how things happen. And we had no choice as youngsters to accept it hook, line, and sinker. Okay, camera messing up, internet's messing up. You know, this internet may just pop off too. I mean, I got so much stuff, electricity going on. So one thing bleeps out. If it does cut off, I'll come back. If I don't, where's my flashlight? Got my flashlight right here just in case. Ready for the power outage. Is it charged? Yeah, there it is. I'm ready. But they told us, if it is George Washington, right? I'm not sure. Gifty, how are you? I want to have you on again. We got to talk, or I want you to talk, right? Got to start bringing folks back on to really kick it. I don't want to be the only one, even though it has my name on it. I'm just a portal. I'm just a plate. But we believe this white man never told a lie. So we looked as kids at all white men like they never tell lies. The effect on the black psyche. You look at the soap operas back in the day. Everybody had money, rich. All the lights were on. They drove luxury cars. The women woke up. We thought they woke up looking like that, but they woke up with makeup on. And so when we saw a poor white person, we're like, oh, white people poor? Now, I knew that. But there are a lot of my schoolmates and classmates that didn't know that. But look at the setup. You think little Jewish kids did not know how to operate in business and finance and have an example right there, and they were not taught to be domineering over us in the financial world? They're not smarter than us. They had information that many of us did not have. And sadly, from many of the families that I grew up around, not all of them, but many of them were so much into the survival mode, they didn't have time to take time. They didn't have time to sit down and teach finances, and especially when many of those families didn't even know. You work, you take the money, you pay. You work, you pay. You work and you try to save. The bank takes the money you save and they trick off with it, doing big things collectively with people's money, and you get this little bit, thinking, if I keep on saving. And then in our mind, we didn't feel like we deserved anything. Not me, but too many of us. But the schools did not push us for financial excellence. I don't do the stock market. But you're better off there than putting your money in the bank. At least you get a chance to own a piece of the company, right? They have crypto now, which is doing very good for many people, but most of us don't know about that. And by the time we get in on something, the train already left the station. We got to wait for the next one. See, we're not used to venturing out beyond our circle, right? We have different types of circles. We have, again, like I say, the circle of concern, and we have the circle of influence. Two different circles. The circle of concern, more than likely, is beyond your influence. You're concerned about it, but you don't influence anything in it because it's so far out. But we're so caught up in the circle of concern on Hollywood gossip, concern in sports, concern with foolishness, that we have abandoned any indulgence in our circle of influence, what's around us, what we can put our hands on. We forgot about that. We sitting here and our mind is in La La Land wondering about who sleep with who and who the last person Kim Kardashian gave a blowjob to and who is a tranny and who's fake and who's this and who got more money. And it ain't doing nothing for your black ass. Hate to say it that way. Why don't we cut that circle of concern and only stay concerned with things that concern us? There's nothing wrong with having a great circle of concern, but when was the last time you went into an African website or a certain country to look at the news, what's going on there? Well, I don't need to know that. But that white man next to you in that Bentley at the red light, sitting there looking at you like a fool, is more into what's going on there because he knows it affects his stocks by the resources that are there that are either going up or either coming down, and the different companies that are over there and have a connection here that he's getting rich on. And your family is over there, don't have a clue. You over here don't have a clue, but you're working for his nephew in some little rinky-dink store, praying to the Lord that I get that 15-cent raise at the end of the year. Maybe your life would be a little better if you had an expanded circle of concern and an active circle of influence and an ever expanding circle of influence. YouTube bans me. They might ban me off. They've dug up old ones to ban me on. It was weird what they did to me the other day. Took down the video, gave me a strike, put it back as private, and erased everything off. They waiting. They jump in prematurely sometime. Because while I cloak myself sometime in a little buffoonery and jokes and sexual things, they know I ain't stupid. I'm not some great whatever. I'm just doing my job in my lane. Whether it's here on a YouTube or drawing an illustration or writing an article or talking to people in the street that I probably never see again, but you're planting seeds wherever you go. You have an expanded circle of influence that you didn't have to ask no damn white man for. You don't have to ask for that. All you have to do is do your job from within and exude, and your value will go up. And you don't have to ask nobody for no raise, a perpetual puppet for somebody who despises you. You might as well be a piece of shitty toilet paper, because when they're through with you, they throw you away faster. They got more love for a piece of shitty toilet paper because they can take it now. I'm knocking my mic off, right? I'm getting all passionate, but it's the truth. They can at least take the paper after they wiped, I'm sorry to be so, and fold it over and go and get another wipe. But once they're done with you, they're done. You're only as good to them as how much they can use you to achieve their goals. And we have the coons in the companies, in the corporate world. I'm not saying everybody. Don't jump on me too fast. But those of us who think nothing of our own community, I got a microphone over there, right? And that's why I look back, because it looked like somebody was standing over there. I'm like, yo, ain't nobody over there. I'll stand up for real and run out. You'll see that I only have a t-shirt on, but I'm out of here. Woo! Don't care if you see what's down there. But we don't think for ourselves. Yeah, work in corporate America, but learn all you can learn and bring it back to your neighborhood to turn it into a community again. Or if you have community, bring it back so you can make a stronger community. Just because you see a bunch of black folks living together, that don't mean it's a community. Just because you see them all at the store, supermarket, talking, laughing, that doesn't mean there's a tight community. It's just a bunch of Negroes who happen to be in the same spot, who are bound probably by poverty, not in all cases. So they're suffering together. We're cool because we're all suffering together. But are you cool when one gets better and moves on out, or has a little more, or has a different vision? Now, oh, you want to be right. Oh, who you think you are? He think he better. No, you think you less. Look at Sister Gifty here, whose movies blow away anything Tyler Perry has made. Yes, Sister Gifty, right here. I'm blowing you up. Blowing you up. If in the private chat room, Sister Gifty, you can drop some links, I want them to see. I want them to see. But we can do without them. Yeah, they'll be in their world. We'll do dealings and stuff, of course. But what's inside of us that's so great, greater than what? We don't have to go through their filtration system and get their approval. I know I don't. I know I don't. I'm excited about me. I'm not narcissistic. Some of the low vibrational people who feel not much about themselves will say that. You should feel excited about you. I'm excited. That's why I do this every day and other things, and I can't wait to get on new projects. I'm reading and studying, and I don't have enough time in a day because I know the beauty and the power that I have within me. I don't got the biggest thing in the world. Get a little something now. I'm good after 10 minutes. I have to recuperate about 2 weeks. No, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm trying to wake up that Negro on the couch. What do you say? He ain't got the biggest thing. You know what I mean? Every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you got to say something in there. But I'm excited about me because I was made by the best. The creator who created the whole universe made me and made you too. Somebody got in your head and made you think lowly of yourself if you don't feel you are the best. I am a champion. You are a champion. Your children are champions. Those who came before you are champions. And if you don't feel that way, somebody else got below the hood of your subconscious mind and rewired your thinking. I'm going to live longer because I'm so enthusiastic. I'm like, I got to live longer to make this thing happen. I can't get too old too quick. I want to be here. And even when it's my time to go, that day, I'm going to be doing something. Unless it's some other kind of circumstance. I'll be creative if I lost my mind. You know, Lance got Alzheimer's, but he's still creating. He ain't making too much sense on them little podcasts he's saying, but it comes out every now and then. Run it to the end. Run it till the wheels fall off. And this is one of the reasons why I moved to Africa. Because I don't need that tortuous interference in my endeavors. I don't need it. I got a straight line now. I don't have no interference. There's no advantage to being around them. There's nothing that's going to make me better if I'm around them. Their energies of wanting to suck my talents. Talents that should have been coming out from the single digit ages without any interruption. And I have made foolish decisions in my life, yes. But I could not see the sun because the clouds of them were blocking it. I had to get them off of me, but I indulged in all of the wickedness and decadence. Again, not drugs and not crime, just women. I done did some freaky things, man. Crazy stuff that shouldn't even be here right now. Just hetero stuff, but super hetero stuff, right? But I came out. Came up through that. Like that football player that gets the ball and he's running and he dodges. You're like, okay, that's cool. But he keeps doing it. And after a while, you realize this brother's going to get a touchdown. I'm not saying that's me because I'm saying I'm so great. That's me because of the protection that I had and the purpose I have over my life. That's why I can't go off, because I'll risk it all. And I came too far to do that, to mess up now. And you got to feel this way about your life because they're attacking us. This whole system has been hijacked by an enemy that wants us wiped off the face of the earth. I'm going to say some real quackology in a little while, in an abstract way. Because this thing, it's not just, oh, just skin tone and people hating on us. No. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. And we're hitting the head of it right now. I'm speaking abstract. This particular time that we're living in, why you feel that things are different than they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the older you are, you know what I'm talking about. We always had war and crime and high gas prices and inflation. We always had that stuff, but there's something different. There's something different in the air. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. Miami Vice, a little Crockett and Tubbs. Yeah, something different. And it don't feel right. It's a tension. It's a predatory force. But they can't beat us. They can only defeat us when we keep ourselves detached. Just let me know if you can hear me. We're going to play this game all night long. Okay, here it comes. It's going to blank out again. We know. Playing your game camera. Your game camera. Just you and me. Just let me get a heads up in the chat room. Let me know if you can still hear me. Because the audio is definitely separate from the camera. And I know why it's doing that. Okay, Ren H, thank you so much. See what happens when you have opposition. You can anticipate it. You know how to work around it. This is us in this oppressive, racist world. We know the tricks. We know when somebody's coming at us with something, and they know we know. Like Ralph Cramden, you know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that you know. Yeah, that's how we are. We got them superpowers, but they want to keep us so distracted from what we really are that we can't discover what we are at the inner depths of our being. The most deepest inner recesses of our being is a nuclear power plant that if we can tap into that, you realize nuclear power is nothing more than a little piece of wet firecracker. Look at the men in front of us and those who are not represented on that banner. Like I said, I couldn't put everybody. And somebody's going to say, well, why couldn't you put this one? And why couldn't you put that one? We are too damn vast. But look in their eyes. Look in each and every one of those who are represented on this banner. Look at their eyes. Look at Marcus Garvey's eyes. Look at Malcolm X's eyes. Look at Brother Tupac's eyes, Bob Marley, Muhammad Ali, and the overlapping things that they spoke on. And not just them, but all of us. This is what they fear, because we can see through them as we vibrate higher. And this is why they must snuff us out. Because it's more than just that. It's a spiritual thing. And like I said on one of my t-shirts on the merchandise page, Earth and America is the world's largest crime scene, but Earth is the largest crime scene in the universe. And we are not just of this planet. Black people go beyond. There are planets of us. Yeah, here come the quackery. You might want to leave now because you're going to think I done lost my mind. But I'm going to tell it like it is. I spoke to a brother who's doing some work in my house, and he said the same exact thing. I'm going to get him on. And that's the brother who we featured on a little short video I did on my phone where he was designing some window moldings on this particular house. And you saw one of the guys slide the template across, and it came out beautiful. Him I'm talking about. I told him on Sunday, I need you to come down here and talk with me sometime. Soft-spoken Nigerian brother, deep. The things he spoke about on America and the world, you would love him. I just got to get him to talk. He's just a soft-spoken brother, so I have to have those microphones, the sensitivity, turned up to the highest sensitivity because he's a very soft-spoken brother, but he's powerful. Yes, you're right, DX. We will show perseverance and we will end. But see, this parasite who doesn't belong here has done such wrong by us and destroyed us, turned us inside out, not all of us, but a lot of us, that when our kinfolk come back to this planet and see the damage that was done and who did it and how they destroyed the earth, they will be wiped out. And they know that we are coming from elsewhere. That's why they're scared. Because they know that when we show up and what comes off of those ships that look like us come for them and are hurt by the state that they see us in. Beautiful sisters, half naked, public on social media, exposing themselves. Brothers who are supposed to be fathers and men of wisdom and protection and to provide, out here on their knees on the stroll late at night with lipstick on with another man's penis in his mouth. Yeah, we got to talk about how harsh this thing is. We weren't put here for that. Over-sexualized children being sent out into the streets by their mothers and the fathers so they can come back with some money so the parents can smoke crack. You don't think I haven't heard it all and damn near seen it all? It pisses me off, and people want to say something's wrong with me when I see what I see and talk about it. But many people want to bury their head in the sand and pay it no mind like it's not there, while the problem gets worse. So we want to run away and get to our little section. It's easy for me right now to go up on the mountain, put up a big wall around me and act like none of this is going on. But how can I do that? I'm here. I can better serve my people. I can better serve my people, because what do I talk about? I show little videos of motherland. I'm not driving right now. When my place is done, I'll get a little ride. I can show you more stuff. But my heart is there in the middle of the battles and wars right there. And the war is on us out here too. But they have many of them duped with religion and the indoctrination and propaganda from their universities. So they got them a little bit. They ain't looking to wake up from, and when they hear it, oh, they reject it. So I'm an oddball over here. But I can do better work from here with no distractions. Living below my means. instead of me being right there in the middle of it, so much coming at me. Things can come at me out here too. There have been people sent out here to find out about me. One day I'll put that all in that book. And a lot of funny business goes on out here. Women walking up to you. You don't even know who they are, but they know your first name. And it ain't from YouTube. Titties hanging out, smiling at me, big legs, shapely little waistlines. Why you want to spend time with me? Who are you? How did you know me? Because you know you ain't going to get me with cocaine. You know you ain't going to get me with methamphetamines or weed. But you ain't going to get me with that too, because I know what time it is. No way. I've come too far. There's a discipline that we're going to have in this particular time. The ability to load shed and to get rid of certain things that we were into before and say goodbye to it. Because once we get to the higher levels, there's a joy and a sense of accomplishment that comes from that. And we'll realize that those old things weren't doing anything good for us. So now this parasite has to get rid of the evidence on this planet before our family returns to spank them and wipe them off of the face of the planet because of what they did to us. I'm not ever going to stop saying it. I might be here and I might be dead and gone when it transpires, but I'm saying it. This is why they work so hard, because they got their little telescopes that can see so far out, and they know who's coming. They know who's coming. They know who's coming. Yes. Kiko Buffett, yes, you are right. I listen to my spirit. Yes. That's right. I've seen it in my dreams and I feel it. Oh, you're just going off of emotion. You're just thinking these things up. Well, look at them going off of their rage and unbridled desire for war. At least my delusion is something that we can look out for. We can't debunk it because maybe it could be true. I'm not saying to accept it. Take it and put it on the shelf. Oh, yes, we know they're already here. That's why they have to admit that they are here. They're admitting it now. Then they had the meeting by the House of Representatives or one of these governmental wings that they can't hold it no more back because there's at least 400 confirmed. Trump was, so they always knew this. But they're scared, so they have to do away with us. Because when our family, I'm going to say it that way, when they show up here, it's going to be a whole different ball game. But look for them, these parasites, to use their, I keep forgetting what it is there. The thing where they can project on the stage and have Tupac and Michael Jackson and a three-dimensional light projection. They can do that too. They're gonna mess around with something like that to throw people off. Make you think that when the real ones come, that they come in against us. No, we would have jumped for joy. They twisted around in their Bible. When Jesus comes through the clouds with great power. Ain't no Jesus coming through no cloud. It's us coming back in the clouds with great power. Our family. Our saviors. But they won't twist it around, so they give you a partial truth, so you're looking for the wrong thing. How you going to trust these people who taught you the wrong history, man? How you going to do that? So we got to change around our total thinking and walk with confidence and do not trust any of them and many of us. In the technology, and not even just the technology, even a plain rubber mask that they would put on and go shoot out a whole bunch of black folks in the corner and turn around and take that mask off. We don't know who's coming up at us at nighttime. Be very careful, because there's going to be a lot of stuff jumping off. We have gotten so used to the weekly mass shooting that we've become numb to it. And on a subconscious level, many of us have began to embrace that we might go that way. I ain't embracing nothing like that. The minute, and it's not about being brave, I'm going to be here. The minute I see something, I'm not going to see it out here like that as far as some white kid. But anything that ain't in order, I'm not going to sit here and just try to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm running after it. It might get some bullets in me, but I'm going after it, and you all better follow behind me and jump. And if somebody is out here trying to kill one of us and I'm in the midst and I can do something, I'm killing it. I don't love these beings that much. Oh, I can't. Do not kill. And the very one who gave you the book to say, do not kill, he doing the most killing all over the planet at will. Well, if you don't give up the oil, I'm going to kill you. Here's something. If you don't give up the gold or the bauxite, we're going to kill you. They'll take their time and kill a leader off and put one of their leaders in so they can get a better deal. They like to move with the shadows now. But they're the most killingest people on the face of the earth and in history. And you want to go up and love up on them. Want the kumbaya moment with them. Want to have babies in them. Sisters, keep your legs closed to these pink parasites and any black man who thinks like one. You hear me? Same thing with you, brothers. Why are you putting your precious black sperm in these white women so they can turn around and take your money when you dead? The courts ain't favoring you. They play victim. It's lights out. It's all a wrap. But then again, they go for the best of us now, right? What was it, a football player recently that changed his name to the white wife's name? He's already in shackles marrying her. And some of us like that anyway from the slave days. Well, I come from the Johnson plantation, and the Johnson plantation got 20,000 acres, and we got more slaves than anything. Are you bragging about this? Bragging about being branded with the name of the slave master? And then what happened when you go get sold to another one? Would they brand you again? Why do you think they called it name brand? Fool? I'm not calling anybody else here fools because we know we're smart here. I'm saying it for a fact. Name brand. They are telling you. And you turn around, man, I want the name brand stuff. I don't want that no-name stuff. So you want to be associated with a more popular, more powerful slave master. Huh? It never ceases to amaze me. Name brand. You know the one I like to say, right? Well hung. I'm a well-hung black man. I bet you are. For you just saying that makes me think how foolish you are. Because that's all that white woman wanted you for, is for that long penis you got. And you say you're well-hung. That's why they associate that with that. Because when you got caught putting that big penis in the white woman, she was enjoying it, but she gonna cry rape, and you're really gonna be well-hung. But you still say it. You well-hung because you was well-hung. And you just can't wait to get between that white woman's thighs. Like I said, you like that little kid in front of the 5 and dime store, that little car that just sits in one spot and goes up and down and has a wheel that don't turn nothing. And you sitting there thinking you driving, you thinking you in charge. So when you pumping this white woman up with your coon penis, you think you in charge because, ooh, this must be what it feel like. This must be what it feel like to run the world because I'm between our white woman's thighs. That's why some of you black men will risk your lives. These are stories I know of people who have shared it with me and through the experience of knowing people who have done this. They loved sneaking up in some white man's house when he ain't gone. When he's not there, when he's gone. Excuse me, I'm talking slave talk now. When he ain't gone. Excuse me for that, right? I was in character a little too long. But when he's gone, and you get the biggest thrill. Oh, I'm in their house, and I'm in this bed, and his wife got her mouth on me. Yeah, you feel like you king of the world until you get 3 shots between the eyes. They crazy, and you just as crazy. And you neglect your beautiful sister who's made for you. And the ones who are conscious that you know are conscious, you reject because you know they ain't going for your foolishness. But on the other hand, you know if you embrace her and she embraces you, you automatically go up and you won't think the way you used to. And when you're worthy enough to have earned The taste of heaven that is a physical portal between her legs is much more than just what's between her legs. It's what's between her ears and her head. Her thoughts that are vast. The womb that can create heaven for you. Your children building businesses. This is what they fear. They don't want us to go back to the old motherland way. I've talked to many sisters out here, and some of them have a problem with dealing with men who want to build. Imagine now. A lot of times, young lady says she's pregnant, and we go, oh no. Oh no what? Man, if you're in the right position, in the right state of mind, and in the right part of the world, I'm going to say it this way, and I'm not being lewd, y'all. You will righteously try to spray as much babies up in that beautiful woman's womb and make her your woman. You have unlimited land, unlimited food growing. You got family, you got community, ain't no damn daycare. By the time you leave this earth, you had about 25 babies with that woman. 20. Now, if they don't want to do it like that, fine. But guess what? You have created your own community. You've created your own economic system. You have everything right there. You can build. And she is the queen. You ain't got to go through no system with no white folks and try to get up in their corporate world. No, from where you stand. And you are the king, and she's the queen. And you have your righteously raised children coming up from under you. And you teach them right. Not this poison American society and culture that gets up in their head and turns your children against you because you have them for a short amount of time before you give them to the public school system that messes their head up. And after a while, you don't know who the hell your own children are. You don't know who your own children are because they have reprogrammed them. Television program, school program, after school program. You hear that word, you should run. The system doesn't even want the baby to suck the titties that's made for them. And the breasts don't even produce the milk no more because they ain't getting sucked on and the woman's body doesn't go back right. And you have no spiritual connection with your child because it's not just about sucking a titty. And some of us men are so malnourished on a spiritual level that when we see a woman's boobs, we crave it to suck it because we didn't get enough when we were younger because of the way the system kept us off of the mother's breast. First thing, if we can suck a titty all day, we do it. Thinking that we're going to get what we want. It's not just sex. Breasts have been sexualized. And you know what? I love the woman's body. I love some swinging titties. I love it. But not just for that. I've been infected with being in this society. I know what that's all about. But I also am evolving into something else. So for me to share it, I got to say it. Hey, what kind of thing you look? This man crazy about sucking titty. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't hold back. Don't hold back. If it feels good, do it. But who made that song? Nah. I think Chanson. Yeah. CHANSON. Don't hold back. Back in the 70s, late 70s. I loved the music back then. When I draw, I put that music on, put my pad in front of me, and zone. I'll zone out for 12 hours. I'll forget that I had to go to the bathroom for 3 hours. As soon as I come to, I'm running. Can barely make it. But this is what I'm saying. We don't know about the connections to undergird us to make us strong because this society that we're in has busted up the foundation. So how are we going to grow strong with no foundation? Back to the titties now. The spiritual connection with that mother, the spiritual connection with that mother, hence the ancestors, that thing you can't see but is there. You as the baby help the mother bring the body back. and you help her to produce more food for you. Ain't no white man in no laboratory can make no Similac. How does that even sound? Similac. What is it? Enfamil and Similac. There's nothing in there that can do anything for you except boost you up and get you ready to be taken over by that wicked society. That is the first C-19 shot to your body, because you do not have a connection with your mother. You do not have the connection that you are supposed to have with your lineage. But whether you know it or not, you came or you come from a lineage. Like we said about momentum, there is a momentum that you are supposed to inherit on a spiritual level to get you through this wicked world, because you are supposed to be stronger than the prior and previous, wiser. Like at the beginning, back in the 70s when they had the Bionic Man, we could make him stronger than he is, faster. You know, doom, 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 doom. That's us, not just some old little machinery. But we should be elevating with each subsequent generation. And it's not just about just the one aspect, but that's an important aspect. And we should not be removing any aspect of our connection to our lineage, to our ancestors, to that momentum that is going to be so strong that we just add a little bit onto it and we're coming through. We're coming through like a Bronco. We're coming through like an 18-wheeler. We're coming through as the unstoppable force that we are. But if we slow down and stop to indulge in the liquor, in the crime, in the lust on the white woman, and we're lusting after the next man's anus. What? If I'm gonna lust after an anus, there better be a vagina in front of it. Because I like all parts of the woman. I'm like that brother who eat every part of the chicken. And man, you don't like the breast. I eat the breast, I eat the leg, I eat the thigh, I eat everything, man. I eat the neck, I eat everything. Well, I like and I love the woman. And there ain't no one part of her that ain't beautiful from every angle, not just on a physical level, but on a vibrational level. When you see a sister, and this ain't got nothing to do with sex, because sisters, you can feel it from the sisters too. And when you see a brother who has a high vibration, and I'm a man, I ain't no homo, but I can feel it. And it helps to sharpen and align ourselves and to show us where we need to be. This is why they put these images that are so severely reduced, and they get away with it. They started with a little bit at a time decades ago, and it got worse and worse and worse, and we accept it. And even some of us, we know better, and we sitting up here singing the jingles, my nag, my back, my cooch, and my crack, or whatever. Now, we as adults behind closed doors, we can play adult games, but there's got to be more to it than just that. You can have sexual freakish play righteously, but there's got to be more to it than that. That's just one course of the meal. That can't be the whole meal. You ain't going to make it if that's just what it is. I don't want it where it's just that. I want the love. I want the commitment. I want to know that we're building community. I want you to know that when I put a baby inside of you, I'm going to be there just as much as I was in there to put it in there. I'm going to be there and be the first one when it comes out. Ain't no white man doctor touching my baby before me. Ain't no white man doctor going to be in there anyway. I'm choosing. Midwife, whatever. The process, intimate. We got to get back to the laws of what we knew and what we didn't know. We got to go back to our instincts because so much was lost. We lost so much. And this is why I say it will come back to us in that gentle voice as we sit still, because nature righteously restores itself. It restores itself. You build a big mansion made of stone, neglect it, leave it for 250 years and come back. Every kind of thing would have grown around it, grown up under it, trees grow up and push it out the way. You got to stay on top of things to keep it moving. We can't take it for granted. There's so much more to this existence than we understand. And we need to get out of the engineered system, like I always say, and go out in nature and listen to the gentle voice that will speak wisdom to us. If we get all of this junk from out of our head, like that cargo plane that 32 miles away from shore, but we only got 20 miles worth of fuel. To make that plane lighter, you're going to have to get rid of some things to be able to make it. Because remember, there's so many of us out here that can't let go, and we're not going to make it. And they're going to be people that we love dearly, that are very intelligent, that hear what it is that they need to hear. It's not one person. I'm not sitting here yapping because I think I know everything. For every hour of yap you hear from me, there's about 24 hours worth of me sitting my ass quiet and listening to wiser people than I. But in absorbing those things, it may activate something from within myself that I can use. But we're missing out. Why is it that when we go to the restroom, we want to hide? We all take a squat. We all urinate. I'm not trying to be lewd, but we allow anybody up in our face. When the beginnings of our digestive system are working when we're eating a meal, isn't that something that should be intimate? We just roll up in any fast food restaurant with these low vibrational people and racist people, and we eating. They done put their hands all over it. It ain't food in the first place. They put their hands and vibrations on it, and you wonder why you think you might be bipolar. Half the time you're not even bipolar. You got too many damn soul ties and you eating from everybody. But you cover up when it expels from your anus, but you taking in, may I say it, shit. You're eating shit and you're afraid when you have to go shit. I ain't ashamed of that at all. It got to come out, but I'm more careful about what goes in my mouth. Back in the day, I wasn't careful about who went in my mouth either. We talk righteous stuff and we do all kind of crazy things. But it's all got to fit righteous. That baby who has the Enfamil and the Similac, see, this devil knows what he's doing to keep the babies off the breast, because we're more accept his plastic world because we grew up sucking the rubber nipple and the plastic bottle that has no connection to it. You're sucking something that has no legacy, no timeline, no lineage, no ancestors. So whatever's floating in the air as you're a baby, pulling on that fake nipple, what in the hell from the strongholds that are over the atmosphere at that time is that little baby pulling in? And you wonder why that little white boy in the other video I did, I'm a murderer. Yes, I want to be a murderer. Yeah, because he was sucking in things. I don't even blame him. It's in his nature. But it's worse because he sucked in some stuff extra. I've never heard nothing like that before in my life. I mean, I've seen some crazy white boys growing up, understood. That's just how it is. But they want us off that nipple. And that's why many of us feel so deficient as black men. We want the nipple back in our mouth, and we think it's something sexual. Well, I'm going to suck her nipples and turn her on. Yeah, that feels good. But long after the act is done, you fall asleep and got titty in your mouth. I ain't mad at you because you're seeking that spiritual nutrition that you did not get from your mother, which has nothing to do with sex. These are things that they're not going to teach you, African child, African man, woman, but we can heal ourselves back. No, I'm not talking about going to suck titties for 6 hours a day to make up for what you lost. I'm not saying that. But realize what it is. You sucking that plastic bottle and rubber nipple. Well, it's easy for the sister to cut you off and deal with the battery operated boyfriend. Oh, them men's ain't no good. I got my toy. But when you're approaching orgasm with that very buzzing thing, What entities are around you joining on to you as you come? Do you think coming is just something that feels good and that's it? Who else that's disembodied around you counting on you to have that orgasm so they can jump on in you because your portals are open? And now you got these fantasies in your head of things you're thinking about, watching the porn, they're part of you now. And as you go out into the world, it's easy to fall into all kind of decadent behavior because you have imprinted yourself not only with a thought, but some damn demonic evil forces. This thing is real. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Call me nuts. It's easy to deal with the plastic. We used to barter. Oh man, I got 50 pineapples. Give me 20 watermelons, whatever. Now somebody got between us and he used the paper at first and now it's plastic. Credit cards. What the hell is a credit card going to do for you if you out in the woods and you hungry? Or maybe we'll put an ATM out there. And then when you get the cash, what you going to do with it? Tree? Your coconuts are so high. I got a couple dollars here. Just throw me down something. They don't want to hear nothing about that. We got to reject this thing. And you worried about death. We're already dying. We're already vibrating so low. When it comes time for transition, we will not have the necessary momentum to get over that hurdle. It will be painful. Now, we know if we're in a car accident, temporarily, it will be painful. We know that. I'm not talking about the physical pain if there's any. Because even evil people can die a peaceful death. But once they get to the other side or approach that, they got it coming. You ain't getting away. I'm not saying this in a Christian manner. It's balance. Look at nature. Nature will teach you everything. See? That's right, Richard. You're covered. Yes, Ibarra. Oh, yes. Big grown men still drink gallons of milk and eating cereal just to keep you in perpetual juvenile. You are so right. That's right. They're tampering with us on so many levels to get rid of the evidence of the destruction of us that they have caused. So when our family comes back on them ships, they can say, we didn't do anything. Where are they? I don't know. They did this to themselves. This is an intergalactic crime scene. And they want to do away with us because they are watching our family come toward us. Because this place is big and we are vast. And again, they know us more than we know ourselves. And they do everything with every step of the way to attack our manhood. We can't be real men in their presence. They will not allow it. But you know what? I won't allow them to take it from me. But see, we let it go unknowingly because we're not taught how to deal in this game, this battle, this war. And a lot of times we can't let other people hear the instructions that we pass on because they're going to say it's too severe. But look at the results of us. Isn't that severe? Isn't that something that is not right? And we're cutting our momentum into the future. We thinking about right now getting that little Lexus, getting that little honey up in the apartment, man, get a little Hennessy and a little weed, man. We're going to have some fun this weekend. Yeah, man, you know, all that stuff you talking, Lance, is cool, man. But you know what I'm saying? If you got down like I did, man, I'm going to get a girl for you, man. We're going to show you how to have some fun, man. You too uptight. Negro, you don't know how I used to live. I've done that to the 180th million degree. Not no Hennessy now, not no drinking. All that other stuff. That's why I can live like a Spartan life like I do. Oh yeah, I get horny too like anybody else. But I see the value of it all, the overall. Imagine, fellas, we can take some of the sexual energy we have that we're giving off through one-night stands and masturbation and just all of the stuff, and we can harness that into a righteous drive collectively. Our communities would go up overnight. And when we do indulge in the righteous, physical, psychophysical, spiritual things, ooh, it'll be so powerful because we did the right thing by our world. An orgasm has to be earned. You must do right to earn your orgasm. If you don't do what you're supposed to do as a man, to have an orgasm is like robbing the bank. That ain't your money. And if you don't do right, the heightened sense of orgasm will be reduced down to nothing. But when you're a real man doing the real thing and not just thinking on some sexual level, when you do indulge, you got a toe curling, eye rolling, mouth wide open and no scream coming out type experience that takes you to the spiritual realm. These little physical orgasms, these low vibrational people feel ain't nothing. But when you have a spiritgasm, a mindgasm, a soulgasm, you can't go for no 5 times. You done. Because it's more than the physical, and it's binding. And the children that come out with this strong, powerful feeling, overwhelming experience, they're exceptional. I remember when my children came from me and into my former wife. I remember where I was. I remember how I did it. I remember how I felt it because I knew it. Oh man, Scurv, you talking some mess. You just kept going and it happened. It crippled me. Not because I was into any acrobatics for 7 or 8 hours, no. Might have been 30 minutes, might have been 20 minutes, might have been 10 intense minutes, but whew, it was different. And I knew. I said, you go into the doctor if you want to check up. I'm telling you. I called my child's name. I knew what it was. I didn't have to guess. I said, go on and find out it's a girl. Her name is Rashida. And she came out. That's the honest to God truth. And my other daughters, I know. And I'm not saying I was some highly spiritual whatever, but I had the foundation, but I knew something was different. I was never way too off. Even when I was off, I never gave up on what I knew to be that spiritual connection. And I love it. Because let me tell you something. I made the title to this show Outside In. I have no notes. I have nothing written down. I did my show earlier when I had no shirt on. And I took a walk out, came on back, sat down for 5 minutes, and I got this show together earlier. I knew the words would come to me because I lived this. There are times when you have to have certain notes if you're speaking on a particular subject with facts and dates and everything. Sure, I understand that. But I knew this was going to be a different type of discussion. And now I'm looking at the time. We've been here for 2 hours and 6 minutes. And it's 1:36 a.m. for me. So I'll wrap it down soon because I said it was going to be short. You know, 2 hours is short for me. And we're going to be back tomorrow. And the next day and the next day. Because that's how we're going to do it. Whatever's needed. Wherever I'm needed. And this is how we have to treat our communities. Stop fussing over position and status. Get in where you're needed. You could be a well-accomplished PhD. But if you're sitting somewhere at a community function and the porta potties need hosing down, Negro, you better get that hose and scrub them toilets with a smile on your face. What happened to the spirit of servitude to each other? We so quick to jump for the white man, but we won't jump for the least of us. This is why in the times that I've gone to church, growing up, different friends in different churches, I secretly like to see the pretty girls in the different churches. I was a little devil, wasn't I? But they had a thing called foot washing day where they washed each other's feet. What the hell is this? I ain't washing nobody's feet. But they were told about Jesus and being humble enough to wash the feet of the person, whatever. But really and truly, of course, we may not embrace that maybe, but look at the thought of that. Are you too good to wash the feet of those who you consider less than you? That's what I'll take from it. You claim you love your brothers and sisters, but you, and it's not just about washing their feet. I know some of us got some stinky ass toes, but we're supposed to endure that. If we need to clean our family who may be ailing or on their way out, can we do that? The ones who brought us into this world, that shows the true spirit. Can we do that? Or are we so high and mighty that we're above things? But look who wiped your ass when you didn't even know you had an ass, bringing you into the world. You couldn't even walk. You couldn't even prepare no food. If you're a little baby just thrown down there on the floor and nobody did nothing for you, you'd die. So who are you to come up when someone else helped to bring you here and nurture you the best of their ability? They might have got duped and fed you Similac and Enfamil, but the thing is, you're here. When you walk in servitude, it has nothing to do with being a Christian. Get in where you fit in. Have that spirit of being humble to get in where you fit in. And you'll be okay, and we'll all be okay. Because we'll be pliable in our spirit, not rigid because of what this society told us who we are. I'm excited about me because I know what's in me wasn't put in me from some demon that don't want to see me thrive in the natural world. It ain't being souped up. Or how can you have such confidence to talk? Because I'm expressing things that I feel from the inside that no oppressor can tell me. I'm an artist. I draw what I see. You look, you see it, you put it down on paper. You might twist it around as a caricature, whichever style, or abstract. But that's all on you. When I did bodybuilding and changed the way my limbs look naturally with no drugs, I'm prouder of that now than I was then because I realized how much chemical warfare it was in the bodybuilding world. And I ain't take one drug. And I'm still here. Many of my brothers are ruined. Some are still here. But they'd be better off if they didn't do those things. I've been guided. Guided for what? Not because I'm supposed to get my name up on some marquee and some famous whatever. Look, I've known my measure of notoriety on different levels and different aspects of my life from young. But I'd be a fool if I was seeking that out because this world would chew you up and spit you out. But how much of your essence can you give in the spirit of servitude to your people so that you live on in their hearts? And it helps to guide them and self-correct them when they want to go off because they have your essence and thought and words to refer back to a whole lifetime of experience. Not because you're so great, but because of the lifetime of experience that you have. And so now they don't have to go and learn everything you learn in lifetime. They're starting out with that. They're on your shoulders now. They are supposed to be better than you. If the subsequent generation that comes after you is not better than you, then you have truly failed. And we have some who may have a third grade education, who may not know much as far as book sense is concerned, who may not know anything about this thing called the internet, need their grandkids to show them. But they have a lifetime of wisdom that if you sit down and understand that although they may have 3 teeth in their head, and a third grade education and they kind of bumble the words around. Look past that. Look at the greatness that they have for you that will shield you from some sorry situations because they've been through it, observed it, and they're passing it on to you. They may not have a big inheritance to pass on to you, but they have something bigger than that. Money is not going to teach you wisdom. Hopefully you have enough wisdom. And if you inherit some large sum of money, I'm not mad at you, but do right with that. But it's the wisdom. That's where it's at. That will preserve you. That will keep you. and go a lot further. Because once you have wisdom, there's no white man who can send you a letter and say that they're foreclosing on your wisdom. They can take your house, but they can't take your wisdom. They can take your car, but they can't take your wisdom. This is why I said even earlier on a financial level, they don't teach us financial literacy. They teach us how to be workers. They teach us how to save the little money that we have and not teach us how to leverage it. How many of us would love to get back decades of our life to know then what we know now? We'd all be millionaires, not for the sake of just having money, but for the sake of uplifting our community, our world, and our people, where we don't have to be subservient or the buffoons for anybody, begging any other people on their doorstep. People who are just coming here to have their unity act together surpass us, and we worried about what we call ourselves. I'm indigenous, and you ain't African, and so and so. And we roll around in the dirt, and other people laughing at us, saying, "Look at those niggers. Look at those niggers." And even those of us who are not niggers, they gonna look at us like that because they gonna feel we got the nigger chip. Push them enough and the nigger in them will come out, which is not true. But you can't convince them. Don't you think you doing good for them or doing good with them when they embrace you in their little culture or their little jobs? So they're trying to get something out of you that they don't know. And once they know it, they're gonna kick you to the curb. That's what they do. That's what I know. And I'm telling you, that's a little bit of wisdom I can tell you. And that's a little bit of wisdom I told you on this show. And I will go. I see a few comments like, don't go, Lance, don't go. But I promise you tomorrow night I'll be back a little earlier. At least 2 hours. Let's throw a little 2-hour thing every night. I don't care if it's 7 days a week. I'm back on that roll and grind again. And I will do some stuff that's earlier. And I will pick certain topics and say certain things. Again, to people who are new here, please don't make or feel that I'm somebody who thinks I know everything. The more I learn is the more I know that I don't know everything. But I tell you this much, whatever I do know, I'm leaving out of here with my pockets empty, meaning the pockets of wisdom, what little wisdom I have and insight, and the way I deliver it. Got to make it funny. Got to make it fun. Got to come with the anecdotes and, you know, all these different things and make it nice. Nobody wants to eat their favorite meal off a dirty hubcap. You want a nice plate to eat, nice clean place, no flies jumping on your food. Presentation, yes. That's why I take time to make a little banner like this, so when the camera runs out, you just have something to look at. See? So we're going to keep this thing going. I want to always stay connected with you all. I want to always thank you all for your support. Ain't nobody got no money. I know that. I'm not even trying to psych y'all saying the support. Support just doesn't mean money. Support means sharing the videos and hitting the like button because you know YouTube. Even though they shadow ban me, it does make a little difference. Check and see if you're still subscribed to the channel every now and then, because if I don't pop up, they might have taken the subscription away. Go to LanceScurv.com where everything is posted and things that I can't put up on YouTube. If you know any people that want to get interviewed, they have things they want to share. Gifty, you owe me a nice little interview. And I love you too. And I love all of you here. Yes. Yes, I'm going to get some rest tonight. And I don't even have to get up. It's Tuesday now for me. It's not Tuesday for you yet. I don't have to get up early Wednesday, but I'm going to do something from around noon on so I can stay up tomorrow night too and do a little something. But I want to start a little earlier. Don't know what the topic's going to be, but whatever it is going to come from the heart and shoot from the hip. This is not scripted. Y'all can tell I'm talking in a regular voice like I'm talking to you all on the phone. I don't need all that sensationalism and all that amped up foolishness. You know, yeah, I do it every now and then, but I'm going to be real. You have the longevity when you're real. But I'm going to share some things with you in the subsequent nights and stuff, and I want to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's therapeutic for me because I live a very, I'm not going to say strange life. It's very rewarding, but I live a very highly isolated, you know, meaning that it's like a laser. I got graphics to do, writing to do, the site to keep up, the videos to think up, the phone calls, emails to get, all those things. I love it, but it ain't normal, but I love it. This is what I'm made for, at least one aspect of it. And I have to say it's a joy, really and truly, to be here and vibe with my family. I know you have busy schedules and sometimes you don't always make it. You catch it the other way or whatever. You don't have to agree with everything that comes out my mouth. I'm learning to teach me. Please teach me. Correct me. Make me better. I'm asking. If you know something I don't know, if I said something wrong, just let me know. You can say it publicly. I take it humble. That's how we benefit. I'm a servant and I'm open to learn. And I just want to let you know that I love all of you, bar none. We got some weirdos in the background that y'all don't know that keep hitting me up different ways. I love y'all too, weirdos. I'm not calling anybody weird. I just said that for effect because I think I'm the weirdest person I know. I got so many strange idiosyncrasies. Y'all just don't know. One day I'm going to have an idiosyncrasy night. All of the weird things that are in my head that like, yo, Scurv, man, I know you all right. You kind of brilliant, but that's a weird one. I got some. I'll share them with you, right? But I know it is what it is, and it's a beautiful thing. So let me entertain you. I'm gonna run now. I don't want to run, and it ain't gonna be long. We'll be back tomorrow night. I like to shoot for 10 my time, 6 your time, but I might shoot the same way, 11:30 for me and 7:30 for you. It's gonna bounce around because y'all know I got a lot of things going on. But I tell you one thing, I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Some things came out of me that needed to come out of me, and there were certain things maybe that somebody here needed to hear. But it's okay. We're all growing. We all have to make sure that we are growing every day incrementally better than we were the day before. And that's the most important part. And nothing should be more important than that. Doesn't have to be in leaps and bounds, but just a little bit in the different areas of your life, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and you will never go wrong. Master yourself, conquer yourself, because the more you conquer yourself, there's the less that an enemy from the outside can come and conquer you. All right? So I'm going to go now. I love you all. And we're going to continue this tomorrow night because this was a sweet one. And we have all the superstars here, except a couple that missed it. All right? Let me hit this music back so I don't play something weird and corny. How do we get back here? All right. I got my other module that I haven't had connected in a long time, and I lost the positions of the music. So I don't know what I'm going to hit, but I have some oldies here. Let's just bear with me. Let's just check out what it is. I know this one is cool, but listen, y'all, let me go. And it's a beautiful day. I'm going to sleep good because it's about 1:51. I could push it till 4. I'm going to go to bed now. Wake up nice sunny stuff. Take a little walk. Get y'all some footage. I promise. I've been saying that, but remember, I didn't sleep last night. I haven't slept in 48 hours, so this is going to be a good one. We're going to get some good REM sleep. All right? Love you all. Take care. Salute to my brothers. Much love to my sisters. I will love you all forevermore. We spent a lot of good quality time together, and I will never forget it because it's imprinted into my soul, and we're divinely connected. Peace. My Lord is I lost my love. They calling me to the groove. My Lord is I lost my love. They calling me to the groove. My Lord is I lost my love.
My Lord, it's I lost my love. They gonna move to the groove. My Lord, it's I lost my love. They gonna move to the groove. My Lord, it's I lost my love.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black is white woman and fire water. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.